Ballyhoo and welcome. The Passion Project continues. My name is Remedy Robinson, and this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, language, and a cause for debate, as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern-day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with The First to Leave from the Juliet Letters, released in 1993. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello's birth name. Following the brief of the album dutifully, The First to Leave is a letter that serves as a pirate's map, directing the recipient to the buried treasure of who gets to heaven and when. Mr. Costello takes the age-old conundrum of life, death, and what happens in both states, and turns it into a complicated narrative that makes the question far more interesting than the actual answer. I should open with a kiss, for if you're reading this, you must have opened up your case and found this letter where I placed it, in between the silken lace. There were other clues, like your walking shoes, but I still refuse to believe that you were meant to be the first to leave. Divided into 3 verses of 8 lines each, the listener isn't overtly told the age, the sex, or the relationship of the concerned parties of this riddle. We can pull on some threads that get close to finding out its constituent elements, but the cleverness will overtake this endeavor, leaving us in narrative tatters. Take, for instance, the silken lace in the letter recipient's case. Are these fabrics strictly feminine? It feels as if they are decidedly not, or at least decidedly up for discussion. Filling in the blanks of what is made from these materials, to my way of thinking, is part of the fun. This verse starts with an AA structure, then descends into a controlled burn of mid-sentence rhymes that are exceedingly elegant in their execution. There were other clues, like your walking shoes is lovely on its own. Now couple clues refused with believe and leave, when he adds, but I still refuse to believe that you were meant to be the first to leave. Still no closer to this pair's identity. Could there be a double bluff as we're presented with the clue of walking shoes? As we probably all assume, or at least I did at first blush, this is a letter written by someone who has recently passed. It's reasonable to overlook the earthly form of putting your shoes on and leaving. A divorce, perhaps, and even though you threatened to leave, you knew you never would, sort of love fights. Don't let the pretty music fool you. There might be some of Mr. Costello's brand of cognitive dissonance taking place right under our noses. Everybody here sends you their love. How could I forget? You still walk above or below. Perhaps you'll never know this purgatory. We never could agree. There's a thought, there's a pause, no time to repent. Eternally yours in a permanent Lent. The second verse again starts with an AA rhyme structure and again keeps identities close to the vest. But you might agree it has changed narrators. Is it written by the person who found the letter in the first verse? The assignment of the Juliet Letters was to write a letter. Nothing in the brief, I imagine, dictated that there could only be one letter per piece. This letter doesn't even have to be in response to the one in the first verse, although it does seem to be pointing more directly to actual life and death. Purgatory, isn't that the place where Catholics go to atone for their sins before they're able to go to heaven? Yet there's no time. Oh, it's possible to attach, unattach, and reattach as many scenarios as you'd like in this clever obfuscation. But if I should give you up, and you're right, and life just stops, and I never see your face again, then from unearthly pleasures proud and plain I shall abstain, till you realize my loss is your surprise. Unless you know otherwise, then don't grieve. You see, I had to be the first to leave. As with the first verse, this verse uses mid-sentence rhymes on the 6th, 7th, and 8th lines to great effect. Surprise, otherwise, grieve, leave. Again, plain and abstain. Fill in the gaps of the middle part of this verse with a softness as it spins an incredible riddle. Trying to assign authorship to this verse is a futile act. The beginning conjunction gives it a sort of call and response feel, so it's anyone's guess. The beautiful idiom busting of unearthly pleasures is exhilarating in how unexpected its sentiment is. My loss is your surprise sounds to me like a person who is in heaven, letting someone else know there is no heaven. What could be more human than that?
Dig it.
Again, this has been a slow drag with The First to Leave from 1993's The Juliet Letters. In my professional linguist, yet hopelessly amateur poet opinion, this is poetry at its best. Lines that can be read over and over, given many different interpretations and feelings, clashing and complementing all the words said around it, and still give the listener a sense of satisfaction as it maintains intellectual curiosity. It makes me feel fortunate to be an Elvis Costello fan. The snorts of disbelief that accompanied those of little faith when the Juliet Letters was released should be punished by never having listened to such an inspired collaboration. In a blog entitled The Dark Ensemble, Voice and String Quartet, Maureen Bouya stated, "The most familiar accompaniment to the voice is the piano. Putting the voice with larger ensembles runs the risk of drowning the voice in the volume of other instruments, acknowledging the voice as the fifth instrument." And what a stunning voice Mr. Costello lends to this effort, an objectively smashing success, I'd say, and I'm sure you would agree. Among the examples of voice and quartet on her blog, Bouya has added a piece featuring Anne-Sophie von Otter with the Bronsky Quartet, Mr. Costello uniting the world. Other precious gems from the Juliet Letters you'll enjoy a slow drag with are episodes 12, The Maddening Smile. It's a slow drag with Damnation's Cellar. Episode 32, Pass the Vinegar. It's a slow drag with I Almost Had a Weakness. And episode 75, Smug Predictions. That's a slow drag with the hauntingly lovely The Birds Will Still Be Singing. And that's it for today's slow drag, my friend. Thank you for listening. I'll be back soon with another slow drag, so please follow the show so you won't miss an episode. You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky Social. It's the social media platform created by the well-intended people who made the original Twitter, which I simply cannot support any longer. Please contact me if you need an invitation code. As a reminder, as I continue writing my second novel, The Macaron and the Breve, I've placed the audiobook version of my first novel, The Most Terrible Time in My Life Ends Thursday, on YouTube. Please follow the link provided if you'd like to listen for free. I know you'll love it. And as always, thank you for helping to get the word out about this little passion project. Truly, it means the world. So, until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow drive with remedy.